how many times have I mentioned the word plateau or regression? How many times throughout my whole planche video narration have I said, oh, I'm in a phase where I'm not progressing at all and I don't know why? If I think about it, I probably mentioned this like a good 50 or 50 or 60 times. I personally believe that half of my whole playlist of planche videos, I've purely focused on the notion of plateauing and not progressing. That is the whole point of this journey. I'm trying to analyze and reconcile why I'm progressing. What's working, what can I implement, and what kind of a holistic program can I develop such that I can give to some random teenager and they can learn through that, and they can ultimately also, if they invest the time, learn the planche. That's the end goal. That is the main ambition, or I guess the incentive for me to form these videos. I'm talking about my experience. I'm trying to understand this and that, and just what did I do for this outcome to occur. But there's a massive downside to this, and it's that this is a very strong challenge to my mentality. It's something that's testing how strong I am and how willing I am to continue and pursue this planche. I almost feel like I'm going insane with the number of times I have experienced a plateau phase, and even more so, the number of times I've mentioned that word. I feel like my whole channel revolves around, why am I plateauing? Why am I regressing? That question, that phrase is basically the foundation of what's going on. And I guess what's instigating this is that I have this tendency to overanalyze what goes on, and I do feel like over time I have reduced this flaw. But then again, I feel like sometimes I'm fairly stubborn with the way I approach my training schemes. I know that with the planche, or a lot of calisthenics athletes, they preach to not train legs at all. They say, don't bulk, don't eat a lot of food. They state things that, well, they obviously contradict the foundations of what calisthenics is, because obviously you don't want to gain weight because calisthenics is based on your body weight. And also you don't want to work on legs because that increases the torsion, the leverages, and it kind of, again, the counterbalance, right? It won't let you learn the planche as efficiently as someone that doesn't train legs or has as big muscle mass in those regions. And yet, I still continue to train them. I still continue to do legs. I still continue to, eat in a surplus. So why am I doing this if my end goal is to learn the planche? And I think it's because I'm stubborn with the notion that I believe I can still learn the planche even if I invest some time into squatting. And whether it I not acknowledge that this will take more time than it is to learn the planche without doing legs, but I just can't appreciate myself, just my own journey, if I were to sacrifice that latter half of the athleticism. I just can't deal with the fact that I need to give up something major in my life, a major in my fitness journey, in order to purely pursue the planche. And I even had a tough time giving up the bench press to just solely focus on the planche. But over time, I've actually gained strength in the bench press because of the transferable strength. But keep in mind, if I were to do legs, I kind of lose touch with that specificity with planche. And again, I'll need to consider the overlap of CNS fatigue, general neurological adaptation, all of those notions. And I don't know if I'm being stubborn or if I'm being naive and ignorant. It's almost to ensure faith in your progression, you need to have seen results. You need an underlying sense of hope in order to maintain and, really facilitate your consistency in faith. That's how the psychology of faith works, I believe. If you were not given that initial instigator of hope, then what is really driving you? What's driving you to pursue something if you have no guaranteed certainty with your progression? It's like, why would you learn the planche if you know you're not going to learn it? You need to have a small amount of ignorance and naivety in order to pursue the planche in a way, because without the barrier of difficulties and realizing how hard the planche is, you can just keep pushing through. You can ensure commitment, enjoyment, and the motivation factor of what really brings the challenge of what the planche is. And when I think about it, it's like this planche journey is so individual to me. And while I do really try and make sure that these videos can be preached and help others in their journey, I feel like sometimes the experiences I have, whether it be like the cycle of progression, plateau, regression, and so on, I feel like that may be sometimes more individual to myself and a unique experience that others may not, experience like themselves. And it may be inaccurate for me to voice these opinions as normalities for other people to pursue. And while I do acknowledge that at some points it's good to normalize failure and like the downsides of trading, sometimes I don't really have the qualifications to say this should be normal or this should be something that you need to experience. And for sure, like, that is something I just can't put myself up to, because I know that I really hate spreading misinformation and even information that I'm unsure of, because at some points, overall, my YouTube channel is just me voicing my opinion and the experiences that's going on for my own personal self. So that's basically it, and I'll finish it off here.